morning, everyone. Welcome to another Coffee and Contemplation brought to you by Spotlight Recovery. Today's a big one. It is St. Patrick's Day, in case you can't tell. So today is for the alcoholic. That's what today's reflection is for. This episode is for you. I hope I'm not being too triggering with anybody on doing all the green and the shamrock and music and fun and all that stuff, because I've been able to enjoy, I've got some Irish background, and I've been able to enjoy and connect with all of this stuff and remove the alcohol. And so I'm just hoping the same for you. So let me know in the comments if you appreciated it, cared or not, just for some feedback. But at the very least, I'd do that for me to start. Okay, so like I said, it's March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. So today's for the alcoholic. So I've got a reflection today focused entirely on step one, getting back to basics. It's from A Women's Way Through the 12 Steps. And I just thought that it's probably the best way that we can go about a day like today is just setting that foundation back on where we started to be able to get through the day sober. That's the most important. And then if you're farther along, you're having more confidence in that, be able to enjoy the day and not make it so hard, triggering, tragic, whatever it may be. Okay? So I'm going to bring it up. Let's go through this reflection together. Yeah, let's get into this. So March 17th, step one. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. Step one. We all know that saying each journey begins with the first step. Each of us has taken many first steps in our lives, leaving home, going to school, starting a job, getting married, beginning a family. And each of us knows the many feelings that arise with these first steps: doubt, confusion, fear, relief, joy, sadness, and more. Taking the first step in recovery may bring many of the same feelings. These are natural and even expected feelings anytime we start something new. Many women like us have taken this first step in recovery, no matter how difficult or frightening it seemed, and each of us has received many benefits over time from our efforts. Recovery begins with step one, when we admit we're powerless over alcohol, and that as a result, our lives are unmanageable. This inspiration is from A Women's Way Through the 12 Steps. Okay, so there we go. So I'm just going to kind of go through this and then also just some key pointers and tips for anybody who's worried about their sobriety today, because I think that's the priority. So step one. Step one, keeping that mentality, keeping these thoughts at the forefront of your mind, making this the foundation of your day, I think is really important, right? Because, it can be a very triggering day. You could be getting a lot of offers or people reaching out. Hey, come party. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. You could be reminiscing of old times of when you did and when St. Patrick's days were good before they turned bad, or your alcoholic mind is still trying to convince you that they still will be good, even though you are now reaching recovery for a reason, reaching out for it. So that may not be the case. We still have a disease that tries to tell us every lie it can, right? The father of lies. So no matter what pressures, thoughts may be coming your way today, it's important to remember that no matter what, you are powerless over alcohol. That as a result, regardless, our lives have become unmanageable. The real focus today for me, I would think, is that we are powerless over alcohol, right? Unmanageability of life, I think that's a pretty normal, common thing. Alcoholic or not, sober or not, turn on the news. Life is unmanageable, right? If we drink and are alcoholic, life will guaranteed become unmanageable. So that's a good thing to remember. But again, the powerless over alcohol piece for me would be the focus for today. So no matter what happens, remember that you are powerless over alcohol. You cannot drink. You cannot drink in safe quantities. You cannot drink successfully. You cannot cap it. All of these things. If you are alcoholic like me, that line of the one is too many and 1,000 is never enough was absolutely my truth. We say one is too many because once we start, we cannot stop. One does not exist in the world of lookies. It's not a thing. And 1,000 is never enough. I would drink until I would pass out pretty much daily, drink and or smoke pot daily until I would pass out. So I wouldn't choose to go to bed. I would continually use until my body shut down and said, okay, you need to stop pumping poison into us, and would render itself unconscious. So yeah, no safe drinking or smoking pot or doing anything else for me. That's how that was. So I am powerless over it. I cannot use it. And I'm sure, if you're watching this video, we all have our own and know our own experience and have our countless stories of how safely or not we can drink or not, right? So draw on your own experience, have those remember whens, remember those times of when you drank and said, I can never drink again. I'm not going to do this. Those are things that can come to your aid a little bit today as well. Okay? While I'm on this train, I'm just going to kind of keep rolling with it. Another thing that I think is really important for today is just keep yourself in safe spaces and surrounded by safe and good people. Maybe it's a day you go to a lot of meetings. At the very least one, maybe you go to a ton of them. If you're really worried about drinking today and you're like, how the fuck am I going to do this? Maybe hide out in meetings for the day. Maybe go to a stack of them, right? If that's the end result, is you're going to stay sober and that's what you need to do today, there's nothing wrong with that. And there's no shame in that. We have a disease. It requires treatment. 12 steps are the most successful form of treatment, as we know today, for this disease. Therefore, treat the hell out of it. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. You're going to be in a safe space instead of sitting at home alone with your thoughts, which is probably the most unsafe space if you're triggered and worried. You're going to be supported by and around other people who know and understand and speak this language the same way that you do, to help defend off of invites you may get to go out to parties, just, walking by or seeing bars and thinking about going in and, oh, I want to be a part of that, and seeing that camaraderie and I'm being left out. You're going to find all of these feelings and things in AA too. Absolutely, I have. And that support is just great. You're going to have this camaraderie over a shared solution instead of a shared, let's just try to ignore our problems today. Normal drinkers may be able to get away with that. We can't. We don't, because we turn that into every day. I don't have to tell you, right? That's another thing I wanted to mention too about today. Why it stands out for me and why I think it's so hard for a bunch of us is St. Patrick's Day is one of the 2 days a year where everybody else drank like I did. This was one of the 2 days where my alcoholic drinking and total shit show of a life was acceptable for a day because everybody else did it too. So that was one of the big things of why today stood out for me and was so hard. And like I said, because of my background too, I was so worried coming into sobriety, being like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm going to lose this day. And of course, before it was like, I'm losing my justification days. Pardon me. Where everybody else drank like me. So it made me feel not so alone. And then, having the day focused on that, drinking alcoholically, just being a disaster of a human being, not knowing how I'm going to connect or enjoy with this day anymore. And I mean, like, even these little things I've got going on in the stream, the green, the shamrocks, the music. I'm going out to a concert later tonight with a sober friend of mine. So sure, there's going to be people drinking there, but I'm going with a recovery friend for the music. And that's going to be great. My mom traditionally, again, because of the background, buys me a shamrock plant every year. It's like the cutest thing. Thank you, Mom. I love them. Just little stuff like that. You can do these other things where it doesn't have to be revolved around alcohol. And that applies for other holidays too, right? Think of other things. And this is, future thought, just want to plant the seed, is for those other holidays, what are things you like and can still stay connected with? And then having to remove the alcohol, whatever the substance or the behavior was, to stay in recovery to make it a safer, sober, and better day for yourself. Okay, so that's a great mentality to use and apply for today. And know that it's also a tool that you can then use through the rest of the year for whatever holidays you may celebrate or be concerned about. Okay? So those are those things I wanted to just kind of cover and mention about today. How step one can be that foundational piece for us to be safe through the day. And then also a couple of other things that you can do just to keep in mind to get you through the day, to stay sober, stay safe, and then get to the point where you enjoy it, like I am. Okay? So there's all of those things I didn't want to forget. Just wanted to go through them all with you. I really hope they help. Please share in the comments and let me know if they did help or not, what you're thinking you're going to do today. What are those tips and tricks, things you're going to apply, because they can help you, they can help somebody else. Okay, so please put those down there. That would be great. We'd love to hear them. And then as far as the rest of the reflection goes, what I really like is that they connect with the fact that, yes, we're taking this first step. We're going on this new journey. We're embarking on this life-changing process. And it's not the first time we've done that. And I love they list a whole bunch of things, right? Leaving home, going to school, starting a job, getting married, starting a family. I mean, everybody has their own stories of these, but I know this isn't the first new step that you've taken in your life. So remember that. Know that you've done something like this before, so you clearly can do it again. And this step specifically you're taking is to save your life. It is going to be arguably one of the most important steps and journeys you are ever going to take for yourself. You know, and that's another thing too, why it's important to remember this and get connected with the program on a day like today, because it's so alcohol focused. The whole focus of our lives in recovery is we have to remove alcohol from our lives. We have to. You drank like I did, as I described to you, an all day, every day stealing alcohol, whatever your story is. If you drank to the point, it's a better way to say this, if you drank to a point where you don't like how you felt and how you behaved and how it affected your life, then you need to remove alcohol from your life. If you're making that decision, then great for you. And knowing and sticking with that. So no matter what comes today, none of that matters as nearly as much as this point. None of it even comes close. These 24 hours will come and go, however quick or slow they may be, but the rest of them preceding for the rest of your life are incomparably more and is incomparably more important, right? And I think another thing with that and with this truth is why it's so important to have that support system, be sharing with other alcoholics, or especially a day like today, I was talking about going to meetings, getting connected with your support system and everything, because this really hard dichotomy we have as alcoholics is we know these truths and we need to quit drinking. And that has been such an important, pivotal piece of my life that I have leaned on and has been central to everything. How the fuck do I just let this go? If I remove this, what's left? What do I put there instead? What does my life look like? I don't know, and that's terrifying. That all makes total sense. These are such like common things for alcoholics. They're very common. We all think and go through these things. So know that you're not alone in them, right? Same with that like glorified camaraderie of like people at the bar. Oh, look, they're all together. Well, we're all together at meetings too. And we're saving our lives instead of trying to forget about them for the day, right? And I'm not knocking anybody who's often doing something. I'm speaking to the alcoholic here, okay? So you can find and have this and share these things with other people in meetings too. So doing that is so important to help you process, understand, know you're not alone, find those truths, start answering that question for yourself of what's my life going to look like? We can help you with that. Others can help you. That's the whole point of this. Okay? And then it goes to talk about now in the second big paragraph that I really like about that. That taking this first step is going to bring up a lot of these same feelings from these other firsts that we've done. But because recovery is such a monumental step, chances are those feelings are going to increase as well, right? And so then it just talks about... Yeah, many women like us have taken this first step in recovery, no matter how difficult or frightening it seemed, and each of us has received many benefits over time from our efforts. So just giving that positive truth and support and motivation out of it to be doing this, I really like and resonate with, is true. And again, you don't have to be, and you're not going to be alone doing this if you choose to go and connect with other alcoholics. Okay? Recovery begins with step 1, when we admit that we're powerless over alcohol and that as a result, our lives are unmanageable. Okay? So, there we go. Just these reminding points again for today. Foundation of the day, make it step 1. Knowing that you're powerless over alcohol no matter what. And no matter what happens and when it comes up today, you cannot drink. You cannot drink today. Wow, my camera's refocusing a bunch. Sorry. You can't drink no matter what. There's the foundation piece. Then based on that, what do you do instead? Go to safe spaces, surround yourself with safe people, make a bit of a full day, a bit of a plan with other recovery supports and things in mind. So you're not going to be alone with these things and have to figure it out by yourself or just white knuckle and get through it by yourself. You don't have to be like that. You don't have to live that way anymore. Okay? So, I hope these are things that you found helpful and supportive for today to help you get set up for success, to have a great day sober for St. Patrick's Day. If this is planning on being your first sober St. Patrick's Day or your whatevereth like mine, I really hope you can make that day today. Make it that priority. Do the work. And that would be great. And I'll look forward to congratulating you tomorrow for your first or whatevereth sober St. Patrick's Day. Okay? So please, as I always say, share in the comments. Would love to hear your feedback. What stands out for you in this? What are things you're going to do to stay safe today? And all the rest of the YouTube things just help this channel grow so we can keep sharing this content and helping other people in recovery. So subscribing, liking, sharing it on your social media, it all really helps us out a whole bunch. And we've got other free resources down on the website and in the description. Recovery coaching videos, a podcast, blog articles. Go check all those out. That can be other content and things to help fill your day to stay recovery focused. And then last is I do recovery coaching with people. So if you need a bit more of that support, you're wanting to build more of that system or get some more guidance around all of that stuff, send me an email. Links in the description. I'd be happy to hear from you and great to see if there's a way that I can support and work with you through your recovery. Okay, so to all those who will soberly celebrate or not celebrate at all, either way, happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope you have a great day sober, another beautiful day in recovery, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.